Welcome to Key
Nah, nuts.
Nuts.
Nuts. Hi, I'm Lauren Jones,
I'm Simona Roy.
and we're talking.
We're talking about nuts. Nuts.com. Actually, I do love nuts.com. Do you go to nuts.com?
I've gotten gifts for people from nuts.com, and then they sent me samples. They're like big on the samps.
Oh, they are. They are.
Yeah.
I've been going to nuts.com for my nut needs for years. Also dried fruit and powders of different types.
What is funny about nuts.com, this was very impromptu. We were not planning on, but we would love for them to sponsor us.
Yeah, please sponsor us. We love you.
Hashtag we love you nuts.com. What's funny about nuts.com is I feel like during the pandemic, they were like, we're still in the pandemic, just to be clear. But in the very beginnings, when you had to like order food and everything was being rationed and crazy, they made it seem like you could order all your food from nuts.com. There was like a commercial that seemed very
like a TV commercial.
Yeah, it seemed very much like for all your food needs, kind of. It just was. But you're like, no, this is
true. Like you can get like bridge mix in like a 5-pound bag. You know,
it's not true, but it's actually an incredible segue to the facts. But so real quick before I do that, how you doing, Simona?
I'm doing great. I'm just nuts over nuts today.
I'm doing great too. This was actually my suggestion, and my suggestion came from a place of one. I think there's always nuts in the Jones household growing up, but around the holidays, we had the whole nuts all the time in like baskets, and we're always cracking whole nuts open with real nutcrackers. Cool. And I also collect nutcrackers for like holiday nutcrackers. That was like a thing I've done. Like I actually have gotten rid of several over the years. I have some really fancy, expensive ones that I've kept. But I used to get one like every year. And then when people found out I did collect them, then everyone was giving me them. And I was like, no, I just want the fancy ones. Yeah. But I have a couple nutcrackers I usually keep at my current place. I don't have as much wall space and kind of like surface space, so I only have one out, which is a spaceman. He looks like an astronaut, so I have like a lot. Yeah, and
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, but
no wonder you think of nuts in the holidays, because you're like so into like nutcrackers.
Yeah,
which is very like when you hear about. Let's talk about the ballet for a second. Hello, that's just at it's a holiday thing. Nuts, nutcracker, holiday. It all makes sense now.
Yeah. So I just associate, and since we're getting, we did candy and that was fun. So now we're going into, more of a holiday season. So what we did today is we chose nuts we both like. And we also chose, we were going to try chestnuts, and I almost did history of chestnuts, but it was just a traumatic experience for Simona. So I'll let her so I couldn't find any because I think they're out of season. I tried to order some. So I might do just like something on social to see if I actually get them. If I get them, then I'll do a quick social on them. But yeah, give me I've never had a chestnut, but cooked in something, not water chestnuts, but actual chestnuts, like cooked in like some
like
kind
a chestnut stuffing.
Yeah. Something like that.
Like people do that,
I didn't love it because I don't love a nut in like a dish.
I doubt that you would have even been able to taste it because it doesn't have a crunch.
Okay.
Like a cooked, roasted, peeled chestnut.
Like soggy.
Oh my God. So, okay. I tried chestnuts earlier this year because, I always like to try something new, and I'd never had a chestnut, and they come in these like, vacuum sealed bags that you find at the produce section. So it looks like a snack pack, like, on the go, driving, commuting. Let me open up some chestnuts, pop it in my mouth. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is going to be life-changing. I'm so excited. I'm going to find a new favorite. I'm going to be chestnut girl. I'm going to make a sweatshirt, going to tell everybody. And so that was the dream that I had in my mind. I was like, this is going to be amazing, life-changing. And then I opened the bag and I looked inside, and it looked like
my picture behind
me. I mean, that actually looks like, if you're watching this on YouTube, Lauren has a beautiful picture of an open canister of
these are my hot nuts, actually. So there's powder on them, but
so they've got some beautiful coated seasoning, well seasoned. I can see that from this picture. But no, they looked like, I don't know, like just little, like more like
doo-doo balls.
yeah, like I mean, they didn't look appetizing. None of it looked appetizing, but I was like, this is still gonna be great. This is gonna be my soulmate.
She leans in. She leans in.
So I put it in my mouth and I think I almost spit it out, or I spit it out.
And that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. You know, I usually swallow.
But she also just usually will tough it out and eat it. And Simona's also one. If you've paid attention to the last several seasons worth of stuff, she'll be like, I don't know. And then she'll eat it again, even after she's like, I don't know. She'll have like another one or two. So for her to just not,
I give it the benefit of the doubt. I do. I treat snacks better than people sometimes. But yeah, it was disgusting. It didn't have any flavor. It tasted like mushed up chickpeas. It like did not feel like enough. I mean, and that's why I was like, Lauren, you have to try it. But you know what's interesting is like, especially I guess in the holidays, chestnuts is like such a thing with the songs, like chestnuts roasting. And then a colleague of mine had said that chestnuts are like one of her favorite things, but like she specifically likes it from this store in France, like where they're like candied or something. And I'm sure if it was like candied and caramelized, maybe I would like it.
Well, and they do sell them some, and my dad pointed this out too. And I haven't been back in New York in over a year, which is very sad, but street vendors would sell hot chestnuts where they sold like pretzels.
Right.
A lot
and
of
like
the time
they always do the hot nuts year round, but like maybe they change
chestnuts
it up for the
they
holidays.
would do, because when we were kids and we would come, like my dad is from New York City. When we were kids, we would go back for like the parade and things like that. And it was always like holiday time. Right.
Yeah.
And they would be like selling the chestnuts, and he's like, I always loved the way that they smelled, but I didn't want them. Like we would get pretzels. So
I mean, I guess when they do stuff to it, there's got to be like, if
they
they're
probably
making
season them a little bit or something.
And
but on a street vendor, if it's, I don't think they're going to be doing too much to them. So,
and I also could understand like in different desserts and stuff, like having something that's like a chestnut paste, because it is mushy, right? So I feel like it could actually, it doesn't taste like much on its own. So whatever you add to it is going to take on the flavor. So if you add like sugar and cinnamon and you mush it and you make it a paste and put in some pastry or something, that's not going to be bad. But as by itself from the vacuum sealed bag, disgusting.
Okay. So I ordered them. So hopefully I get them. And
I'm excited for you to try it.
But we don't have them today. So we're doing, and we're doing versions of hot nuts, because I've also had weird experiences with hot nuts.
Right.
So we wanted to share a weird experience with you guys. So I'm going to go into facts. I'm facts this week. So speaking of like nuts is all you need, nuts.com. I mean, nuts go back to hunters and gatherer days.
We're going that far back.
We're not going to do this for too long, but we're going to hit that. So it goes back like 12,000 years, right? That's a long time. And the concept of hunters and gatherers, if you did not pay attention in social studies or geography, it's a lifestyle where you don't do agriculture, right? You go to an area of land, you hunt what's there, you gather nuts and berries basically that are there, and you stay there for a certain amount of time. It says that they used to stay, the lifestyle required access to large areas of lands between 700 to 500 square miles, probably more so for the hunting. And then, they wouldn't stay there long term. So they would just go and then they would move on, usually no more than 100 people per group. And they were considered nomadic, and it didn't end until the Neolithic Revolution past the 12,000 years ago. So, and that's when they started with traditional agriculture and people staying in places. So nuts.com would tell you that
they started it. They started this movement.
And you maybe just needed nuts, I think.
It made them in the paleo community.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so that was on the National Geographic website, and
I love them.
I thought that was very but this one I liked a lot. So there is a Nutcracker museum in Washington. And knowing I didn't know this existed, and I started doing the research, but the Nutcracker Museum has the history of nuts in it too. So I'm going to read a little bit from that. And then it's kind of a neat website to like learn some things about nuts on. So if you are, for whatever reason, really into it, and if you are anywhere I'll tell you where it is in Washington. I don't have the address right in front of me. I have it in another screenshot I took, but if you're in Washington and you want to go to a Nutcracker museum, check it out. So
I bet Katie would love that. Our friend Katie.
Yes, I think Katie would love that. I think there's
Katie, a few go to the Nutcracker museum.
I think Katie would love it. I also think my friend Brandon, who is also a listener of the pod, he is a geologist, and there's like nuts go back to archaeological digs. So I think we're gonna call Katie and Brandon, like hit it up.
Yeah.
So recently there was an archaeological dig in Israel where researchers found evidence showing that nuts formed a major part of man's diet 780,000 years ago.
Wow.
7 varieties of nuts, along with stone tools to crack open the nuts, were found buried deep in this bog that they found this stuff in. The nuts were wild almonds, prickly water lily, water chestnuts, and 2 variations of both acorns and pistachios. The pistachios and water chestnuts are similar to the ones found in the Far East, Northern Europe today. So that's like a long time ago. And they go into this whole thing about the tools that they call nutting stones, which I think sounds really inappropriate. But and then they go
for when they were lonely.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, when you say the word nutting, it becomes a whole nother thing.
Sure does.
Yeah. So you have to take this with a grain of salt. As 2 comedic women, it's a little bit hard to take all this.
We can't move forward past that.
No, we can't move forward with that, especially considering that I took my dog's nuts away within the last month and a half. I'm not.
It needed to happen.
But yeah, I'm a nut remover. There's a lot of things. But
you're an expert nutter.
A nutting stone. We used a nutting stone. Anyway, so, and then they go into how regionally they spread about. I'm not going to go into that insane research here, but you guys can go to the website and find that information out. Again, the website is nutcrackermuseum.com. This one I like walnuts. I almost picked walnuts today as my favorite. I didn't because I found more of a holiday nut that I don't feel like I see year round. And then somebody's gonna be like, yeah, but that's around all the time. And then maybe I just only see it when I feel like I need to see it. Yeah. But the oldest walnut remains were discovered in Iraq, and they're believed to be from 50,000 BC. The Greeks and Romans were fond of the walnut, and they were considered food of the gods by early Romans. So that makes sense why I like them.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'm a goddess, so there's that. But it's kind of cool to see how like the nuts kind of scattered about. They had these, I liked these facts. So they had like 2, it's like some nut facts, but it was just like 2. I feel like there's probably
there's probably billions of nut facts.
That's what I was thinking. But I liked these 2 that they chose. So I'm just going to read both of them really fast, and then we're going to go into nuts. So Mr. Peanut was created by a 13-year-old boy in a logo contest sponsored by Planners in 1916. He won a this is messed up. He won a grand prize of $5. His drawing was then refined by artists who added the monocle, top hat, white gloves, and cane. But the main concept of Mr. Peanut was.
So then what the heck did he draw? Just a peanut with legs?
Peanut with legs.
Come on. I don't feel that bad about it now, because like the thing that makes Mr. Peanut is the monocle, first and foremost.
Right. I don't know that maybe he didn't have. I think maybe he did have a monocle. Maybe he had a hat on. Maybe it wasn't a top hat. I don't know. I'd love to see this original drawing. So like this makes me want to do more like research on planters, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I think that that's also hope, like a 13-year-old. I mean, if he really did something that was groundbreaking enough, or like how sad was that scene that they didn't know how to make a peanut man?
Well,
Like,
maybe they never thought to personify the peanuts.
that's what I'm saying.
Like they
Like,
were just
kids
like
are so
making a
imaginative.
mascot.
So
Yeah.
as a child,
So
you have, but make sure that you have a lawyer and you monetize that. But anyway, so that was kind of an interesting fact. And then peanut butter was developed in 1890 by a doctor in St. Louis. Always
oh,
the
these
doctors.
doctors. They're so innovative.
I know. He gave it to his patients with bad teeth. It takes about 550 peanuts to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. Why would it stick? Wonder why it sticks to the roof of your mouth. Supposedly, it was because the high protein content draws moisture to the mouth to cause it not to stick. So if you had bad teeth and you couldn't eat, like,
yeah, like you couldn't chew because your teeth were gonna fall
yeah,
apart.
so they were
just to eat peanut butter.
He's just like, here's eating peanut butter, you bad tooth person. Originally, when I was reading this, I was like, is he doing this to like get it so sticky that, or like so messed up that the tooth is like rotted and it falls out, which is like could be, but I think it was because they couldn't eat.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they probably like just had gums.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. So this is in Leavenworth, Washington, and it looks like they're still open even though it's COVID. They had, I liked their mission statement. I'm gonna read it. I like when anybody has a mission statement, you guys. I'm fond of it. I don't know if it's because of my day job. I feel like mission statements are important. To foster and encourage the interests of the general public of the more importance of nuts in diets of humans throughout history and the evolution of the nutcracker. No other tool or collectible has shown such a wide variety of materials and designs as the implements used to crack the hard shell of a nut. So they also talk about the dietary needs of a nut, which is why they have so many facts on here. They also had in their Q&A, why is it so expensive to have a nutcracker? A normal nutcracker, a good nutcracker, has 130 steps on making it. So if you have like a more because nutcrackers can get really expensive, and they were in Germany, so like that's where they started. So we don't really, sometimes we question that, but I was. But now they take all kind of shit. Like I have a Shakespearean nutcracker. I have a nutcracker that looks like a clock designer. I have another one that's like, I have like an artist nutcracker. I have, ones that like look like, I don't like the ones that look too much like people. I want them to look like a nutcracker.
Right.
But
it's a little creepy.
Then they start to get creepy. Yeah. But I, it's something. And I liked the ballet too as a kid. I grew up dancing some. So so it's all like nutcrackers is life at some point for me. So, all right, we're going to go in with the nut I picked. Like I told you, I really like walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've cracked on the nutting stone.
Barf.
I can't not say that to her. Like, I feel like I'm gonna put it in my vocabulary now. This is Good and Gather. This is Target's brand. Again,
they're taking it from history.
They're taking it from history, you guys.
Good. What is it? Good together. Good and
gather. Instead of
I think it should be like for nuts. It should be good together, but whatever.
But I'm just saying it has that kind of
they're
hunters and gatherers.
They're winking
kind of
back
feel.
to what
are the core of us as humans. Yeah. This is a cinnamon praline almond. It's hard when I have these backgrounds.
Okay, so right there. That's good.
Yeah. So it's
blue bag.
The blue bag, and it's and I love an almond. I think almonds are like my next favorite. Good for protein, good for all kinds of things. It has a candied look to it. For those of you on the YouTubes,
there you go.
It has a candied look, so it's candy, but because it had, and so like it's almonds, and then pralines, are like little tiny crunchy goodness, and then we have
like praline. I think is just like a kind of caramel sugar thing, right?
And so you can see that it's a little bumpy there, and then it's coated in cinnamon. So and so like I said, to me this is a little more holiday-ish. Like I like speaking of the French chestnut, like how we're gonna get our hands on that, but like but I like a candied nut too. That does also remind me of holiday. I also love a nut dipped in chocolate. I tend to have that or chocolate pretzels around my house, to be honest with you, because it has that good balance. But I feel like the thing about this one though, whenever there's a praline involved, it's like I got to be careful with my teeth because old lady teeth. So this is
well, nuts are hard enough on the teeth.
Right. So throw a praline on it, and yeah. So I'm gonna kind of this could be allowed. So I'm gonna pull a little bit away, but
okay.
I haven't ever had the Good and Gather brand, but to me this is like exciting and gonna.
Oh, you haven't tried this one?
I haven't tried this actual brand, but like I've had something similar to this, so well, you know how this brand is. Okay.
Okay. All right. She put in her mouth.
If not as like insanely crunchy, which is, I mean, those are crunch, but I thought my teeth were gonna go like.
Right. It just seemed like it was more of a coating. The coating wasn't that intense. It didn't seem from what you just.
It's so good. It's so cinnamony. I love cinnamon.
Cinnamon is one of the only things that has tasted normal to me throughout my whole COVID experience.
So interesting.
Yeah. So if I see something cinnamon, then I know that I'll be okay. That's crazy? I would love to be like research me and my experience,
Yeah.
Like,
well, we're documenting it kind of. No, it's great.
Cinnamon is great. I'm a fan.
The almond is a little more moist, and maybe it's because of
the coating.
So it's not like breaking your tooth. I put cinnamon in my coffee, and I put cinnamon in yogurt because has good just like medicinal qualities as well.
Cinnamon is actually like, I used to put cinnamon in my coffee because it regulates blood sugar really well. So if you start off with cinnamon in your coffee first thing, but then don't put like, spoons and spoons of sugar in it.
Right. It also has some kind of immunity type.
Cinnamon is great.
Yeah.
I'm sure
you can take a cinnamon pill.
Gatherers or whatever.
Cinnamon you can take in a pill because of its medicinal quality. Yeah. So anyway, it's delicious. This would actually taste really good. Like
with coffee or tea?
With coffee or tea, of course. Hello. Put that on a sweatshirt with you and me and coffee and tea. And also it would taste honestly why I'm thinking about this early in the morning. I couldn't tell you, but crumbling this up and putting this on around a cheesecake. Oh my God, would taste so delicious.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like do a little like mince in the food processor. So there's chunks, but like it's not as big as an almond. Yeah.
It also would taste good as the crust. I just don't know how well.
Or even like just like a cheese ball, like that you dip into, like take some crackers. So if you did like maybe like a goat or something, and then just coat it. Yeah, do like a sweet goat cheese appetizer.
This has like a lot of holiday cooking, baking.
Feels.
Yeah. It's great. This is like, it's super delicious. And this brand is great. Good and Gather.
I would definitely eat those. The Target near me it's close miles wise, but New Jersey, like small state, lots of traffic.
Yeah.
So I just don't even go to.
Well, if Target. I go, I'll send. Simone and I like to send each other care packages of things, whether it's we actually put them in boxes or we order stuff from somewhere. So right. if I find an extra grab, I will.
Okay. Awesome.
Send them to you, babes.
Thank you.
No problem. So tell me, and the nut behind me is not, if you're watching this is my hot nut. So we'll talk about those in a minute. So these are coated. They're just not as pretty as the ones I just ate.
Yeah. Like the ones that you just had were understated. Like I'm sure you could see the coat up close, but like to me, the viewer, it just seemed like a dark almond. So whereas those look insane behind you.
These I think are going to be insane. These I'm not excited about eating but I'm happy about eating them for the podcast, if that makes sense.
That
so
your
fave.
So I have to say that like I need to have some caveats here. So if we're talking about my fave nut in life, it's a pistachio.
Okay.
And I'm not a big nut person to begin with. I go through phases, right? Like I said, how much I like.
Is there a lot of nuts in Indian cuisine?
Yeah, in the sweets.
Okay.
In the sweets. Like pistachios are a big Indian nut, cashews, not almonds. Because I don't even know, I don't know the indigenous nuts of India. Maybe other, like there's a billion different differences in India. So I cannot speak.
No, that's true. The regions are very different, but I was just curious because
nuts. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like Americans who like will put out oh, but that's not true. So like we have this thing called Chanatur, which I think you would really like, and Trader Joe's actually makes it, and they call it something else, but I'm Bengali, so I only know Bengali things. But it's basically like a snack mix, and it has like these puffed rice and different like weird Indian things, and it usually has like peanuts and cashews, and it's a spice. So maybe we can try that some other day.
Yeah, that sounds yummy.
I think it would be that. Yeah, and the Trader Joe's version is actually pretty spot on, so I have to say that. So my favorite,
this will be airing right after Diwali, I think, too, has passed. So
I don't even know when Diwali is, like, because my family we don't celebrate it.
So we celebrate it a lot with the people that I work with, because I work with such a big region of India through my jobs in almost every job I've had for the last 12 years. So happy Diwali to all of you who are celebrating that.
Yes. Happy Diwali.
Sorry. I just thought about that. Well, because I learned we were learning how to do some of the baking, and then also I forget the name of it, but making the floor designs.
Yeah. Like I saw that on that Bravo show. Family Karma.
Oh, they
talk
did those
about
on there.
Diwali, and I'm like, yeah, we don't do that. I mean, maybe other Bengalis do, but this Bengali family just was like, when is Diwali? We don't care. So
they were just, you guys are too cool for school. We get it.
We really are. We really are. So as a favorite nut in general, pistachios are my favorite. Now, and I didn't really think about this, so I apologize, but it also takes a second to get to. And I don't know if I talked about it last season, but my favorite nut snack of all time is what I discovered when I went to Korea in 2019. Is this company like Gillum or Tom's Farm / Tom's Farm? I don't know. It's cute packaging because it's Korean. Hello. And they have these like, almonds who are like cartoons.
Right.
And they're wasabi almonds. And I've not found an equivalent in the States because it's, spicy like wasabi. But then there's a sweetness, which it's just the perfect nut. So like at some point, maybe nuts part 2, we can both try it.
I don't remember you talking about this. Okay.
So it's my favorite nut of all time. So we'll do it in a nuts part 2. And I would love for you to try it because I really want your opinion on it. And with the hot nuts thing, which would have been a great hot nut for me to try again, even though I try it, is they have this like hot chicken nut flavor. And Korea always has really interesting flavors. It doesn't taste like chicken. Maybe they throw some bouillon in there. I don't know. But it is so damn spicy. Like I couldn't enjoy it because
it's the same brand too. It's the Tom's Farm.
I only like this brand, and I think we could probably find it at H Marts and stuff. But like I bought it, and they also in Korea I couldn't find it online. They have these great snack packs, so it's great for like commuting and stuff. But I would like eat it at work, and I'd be just dying. I'd be like crying because it's so spicy.
You're like, are you okay? You're like, yeah, I'm just eating my chicken hot nuts.
And then I'd give it to coworkers, and they'd be like, oh my god, that chicken hot is so fucking hot. But so that's my favorite nut of all time. Would love to share it with all of you, which I'm sure we will do. But for favorite nut of nuts, I would go with pistachio. And I haven't actually tried this. I got this at the 7-Eleven as I was trying to find fucking hot nuts, which is close to impossible. I got the Wonderful brand, which I think they do commercials. Oh, it's blurred. Right
there, it is.
See it?
Yes.
Wonderful. And I think that they do a lot of commercials, and it's chili roasted.
Okay.
And I'm a no shells gal because I don't want to break a nail. So
gotcha. Yeah, I'm no shells except for when Diane Jones puts them out in this very particular nut basket that she puts them out in during the holidays. That's it. It's other than that, I will buy everything shellless. I am with you. What was that? She made a face.
Yeah, and if I didn't mention it, I've never tried this before. I just picked it up.
You didn't mention it, but after I saw your face, I figured.
Yeah. I didn't like the smell off the bat, but it's always like these days I have to do a lot of.
Is it COVID?
Yeah, like is it COVID or is it me? Like, or is it the thing? Is it COVID or is it the thing? So I do like some bunny sniffs, which usually gets up in your olfactory system better. I still don't like the smell.
Okay,
so it could just be the product. But
what
chili
is it?
Roasted.
Chili roasted. Okay.
Yeah, I decided to go savory instead of sweet, but I also love a sweet nut. Yeah, here can you see the coating?
Yeah. Yeah, it's coated. It looks like a normal pistachio, but it's coated. She's thinking.
I love it.
Okay. Maybe it's a COVID stink.
It's like the smell is still not great, but it had like a tang, and I love it, a sour just like you. So not very spicy, just a little bit of heat at the end of like a chili flavor, not like a cayenne flavor, but like
not
more
like
of
over the top. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love the like, I don't want to say it's a tangy. It's not sour where you're like, why would a nut be sour? But
well, chili can do that, right? Chili can also have a little bit of a sweet taste.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good. I recommend it. Wonderful chili roasted pistachios, and I also like pistachios because, like cashews, I kind of tend towards, or peanuts aren't really nuts, but I don't like I think sometimes walnuts have like a little bitter taste, especially if you have a little bit of that skin on it. So walnuts, like I like a little now that I'm older, but like when I was younger, definitely didn't like them. Almonds, I only like with a coating of some sort.
Okay.
So that's why I really like the Korean ones. But like I like the sweetness of a pistachio and a cashew usually. And pistachios, I think that they're just my nut of choice.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I have, and maybe it's just,
another one.
Yeah, go for it. I've eaten like lately or holiday. It's the only time I'll eat a nut coated. I typically get an unsalted nut, like, and I'll just eat them. So
I need it to be coated.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Because I'm not a big nut person to begin with, I guess.
So yeah. And again, maybe that's just like your households that you grow up in. I don't really know. It's
no, my parents really like nuts.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just not like my dad and my mom. My dad, well, he's trying to watch like his different health things. So he stays, because of that, he's staying away from nuts because high potassium, whatever. But like, yeah, my parents would eat nuts all the time.
Got it. Okay. Well then, yeah, I don't know. We can't explain Simona. Continues to be an anomaly that we love.
I'm an alien.
She is not. Okay, so what's funny about so I couldn't find chestnuts, so we're gonna go into our hot nuts now, but I couldn't find chestnuts. I recommended hot nuts to Simona. I texted her last night. So here's the nutshell of what happened with us last night.
Nutshell.
I was with my partner and his kiddos, and we went to this place that only took cash. So we didn't eat the whole time we were there. So then we went and got pizza afterwards. And this pizza place did not have drinks. And it was like a town.
What the fuck?
Listen, and it was like a town where everything starts shutting down, and it was dark because it was like after 8:00.
It sounds like a Halloween movie.
Listen. And so what we probably should have done is sat on the benches outside of this place. But we didn't, and it was a whole rigmarole of where we landed with the pizzas. But we were like, okay, I guess we'll go to this Walgreens and go get drinks. And I still at this point hadn't had the chestnuts, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna text Simone and just be like, we looked at so many places and we could not find them all day. My mom looked, I looked, because I'm down visiting with my family. And so I texted him and I'm like, look for any kind of hot nut that you can find in there. So he has chosen the hot nut. So we'll give props to Brian, chose the hot nut. And the irony here is that I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to hate this. And it's a wasabi.
Well, I love a wasabi nut. And you got the blue diamond.
I got blue diamond. It's a wasabi and soy
sauce. Okay.
And I've never had one. And here's the thing with me and wasabi is, unless it's with sushi, like I typically do not like.
Really? You don't like wasabi peas?
I hate them.
They tend to get really hot though.
Yeah.
Like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So yeah, because my dad has a really good friend, and they grew up, his wife's from Vietnam, and I would, when I was younger, would go in and grab those wasabi peas because they looked like great. And then I wanted to throw up. So I've just
traumatizing.
Yeah. So I stay away from wasabi unless it's with something.
Well, it's just really fun. I wish that we had just texted like 30 minutes earlier last night, because I was in the store and I saw the blue diamond wasabi.
That's so funny.
And I was like, oh, should I get these? I was like, my favorite or whatever, but I knew it wasn't the wasabi ones that I like because they're not created equal.
I want to try the ones that you
I think you'll like the ones that I like.
Yeah, I do. I just have a feeling.
Really hate wasabi.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done enough. Like I would stay away from it. So to me, so when he picked this, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I'm probably gonna hate it. That's like exactly what I texted him.
Well, and then also Blue Diamond, I had to say, well, Blue Diamond is very famous for their almonds, right? That's like the main, and this is granddaddy.
Almonds. This is almonds. Yeah.
But so when I was in the grocery store too, I like wasn't sure if it counted as like art. I mean, it definitely counted as a hot nut, but I should have just gotten it there. They do now like these, ghost pepper almonds. God. And like I thought looked terrifying, but they also did one step and you could see like by number of chilies how hot it is on the Blue Diamond little tin. And so I was thinking about getting those, but I was like, no, let me go to 7-Eleven. I'm sure I'll get the actual like company of hot nuts. And then I didn't. So.
But it's okay because I think it's so funny. We're like, this is my favorite thing ever. And I'm like, so
yeah, but they're not all created equal. And I don't think I would like a wasabi plus soy because that's like the reason why I like the Korean ones is you get the hit of wasabi and then you get sweet. Okay. But they also do tiramisu ones.
Interesting.
Mentioned and they're really great. And then they're, the hot chicken is insane.
Okay. So anyway, so that's what I ended up getting. And you ended up getting a version of a hot nut, right?
Yeah. Oh, and mine are peanuts too. Cause I think hot nuts were like originally
peanuts. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So this is the 7-Eleven version of hot nuts. And it's flavored jumbo peanuts and it's Chipotle tequila lime.
Whoa, that sounds nuts.
I don't like tequila flavored things because I like tequila. I have, very strange memories of tequila. I haven't done tequila in years, so I don't always.
That sounds nut burger. These both kind of sound nuts. Yours,
and also on the package, you can see like the size of the nuts. They actually wrote like pills, like actual size of nut, actual size. On the package.
You as a child would love that. Been like, I'm taking my medicine.
Yeah. Well, you know how like pills will show you on the box like the actual size. I just have never seen a peanut say like, oh, these are jumbo peanuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say jumbo nut sounds crazy. Yeah.
Too many nuts for me.
All right, I'm gonna go in for my nose real fast. Okay. We're gonna eat these around the same time, everybody.
I'm not excited.
I gotta say, I smell mostly almond.
Okay.
So
I smell mostly peanut.
Now I'm smelling more peanuts. Soy as I smell more.
There's a weird, I smell the lime, I think.
And now it's starting to smell more spicy. The initial was you smell almond. Then
this definitely smells better than that other nut. And I liked the other nut. So
maybe you'll hate this one.
Ipso facto, opposite day.
Well, right behind me is exactly what the nuts look like in the Blue Diamond can. So they are almonds, very powdered.
Also, these nuts don't look that big. I mean, they made such a big deal about these.
I want to see
peanuts.
it. Let me see.
Like, come on, they look like a peanut. Isn't this the size of a peanut?
That's fully the size of a peanut.
Like, what the fuck?
Get out of here, 7-Eleven.
They're gaslighting me. They're like, we're jumbo nuts, and I'm like, this looks exactly the size of a peanut.
7-Eleven,
but coated well. So
yeah, I got an extra coated one so that if I get all the. The thing that's misleading about this is it looks kind of like it's going to be coated in sugar.
Right.
So this is
don't think it's sugar.
This could really F you up at a party. Okay, Here we go.
Okay.
Oh.
This doesn't taste like anything.
This tastes like I just threw wasabi in my mouth.
I don't taste any of the coating on this.
You guys.
This is a waste of money. This hardly has any flavor. Do not get the flavored jumbo peanuts from 7-Eleven.
Okay. The nut fine, but the coating.
You're not into.
It's fully powdered wasabi.
Do you get any soy?
No. You smell it, but you just taste wasabi. I think you just taste wasabi. I don't like it.
There's no chipotle on mine. Maybe a little. I don't know what
Maybe
the tequila
yours are
part
just drunk on tequila.
I don't fucking know. What a waste of stupid nuts. I mean, if you want to eat peanuts that get your hands like dirty because the coating that doesn't taste like anything.
Oh yeah, and we know how much Simona hates.
That's why I just
use the pincher.
Yeah.
Her pincher.
Yeah, that was a waste.
I think if I were you, I would try these, Simona. They mainly taste like wasabi. I don't know that I'm sure that they don't compare as well
The
to Korean, but Blue Diamond is a good quality brand. So you might get a kick out of it. Does intense taste. It really does. But once you get the coating off, it's just the almond.
While I was there, I did get and I should have brought it, but it's just like too many nuts today. But like I did buy the Blue Diamond salt and vinegar ones because I love a salt and vinegar.
Oh, weird.
Flavor.
Have you ever had that as a
long time ago? But like I think I liked it.
Do they reminisce as a chip, like a chip taste? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, they're good at their flavors. So like I knew that I liked the salt and vinegar ones, but like unlike the potato chips where I could eat a whole bag, like obviously you don't want to eat the whole tin of the nuts or the whole bag of the potato chips, whatever. I couldn't eat too many of them. Like I would get sick of them. Like at first I would really like it. And then at maybe 4 nuts in, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to eat these at all ever again. So that's how I feel about the salt and vinegar ones.
This is so new to me. And I think it's because I just go for like a raw nut. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about the coating.
I didn't even know that kind of stuff existed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm all about, I think because of my nuts.com obsession, and just like thinking of like the phases of my life where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be really into nuts right now. Like I'm serious. Like these are the things that
this is the year of the nut.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm gonna be nut. Like I want to eat all these coated nuts. And yeah, so and especially with Korea opened my eyes to almonds that I really do enjoy. I think you would love the tiramisu one. Hot chicken. It's gonna be too hot for us.
This might be cool stuff for next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because next year our goal is to try like new stuff for us across the board. But I think we're creeping into it a little bit now. But I mean, I would say if you want to eat a nut that tastes like wasabi, this is for you. For me, it wasn't. I mean, I think it was better than putting a chestnut in my mouth based on your description. So, there's that. But like I said, I don't know if they shipped. I don't know if they're just like out of season. I don't know what the story is, but
they might be out of season.
If I get them, I will post it as a story on the
or maybe like the season is just about to start,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Chestnuts are gross, man. Don't bother. If we ever go to France, we'll find those stupid we'll find the fancy French ones.
No, but if I get them, I will I did order them. It didn't kick me back yet because we just could have because like I was looking at Atlanta, and then when I came down to my parents, my mom yesterday went to like 3 other places that said that they had sold them, but when she went, Lies Minnelli, they were like, they're out of season. So we looked like, I think it was a total of 6 places to try to find these, in 2 different cities. So we tried. And then, whatever.
I think hot nuts is you can only get on online in like packs of 12. Yeah. And now like Takis has taken it over. So
yeah, we were okay. And just for the record of the Takis fans, because we did do Takis last year, we strayed away from the Taki flavored nuts on purpose because they are cornering the market right now. But we have already tasted what Takis taste like, and I think that their powder is very distinctive. So I told Simona to stay away from those because
also we don't like Takis.
we weren't the biggest fan of Takis either. But regardless, it was just kind of like, we know what this powder tastes like. I think it's going to taste very similar to the chips. And I don't know if you remember, but people got sick and had to go to the doctor for eating too many Takis. So
we're trying to not
we're too old for that. Yeah.
Also I should mention, since I went to 7-Eleven to get these nuts,
I did some Jims.
I did, and I'll just show the viewers
Monster Slim Jims,
Monster Tabasco one, and then just to depend on my mood, I also got Monster regulars.
Original. Good. Congratulations. This is back to first episode, season 1. Was Simona's travel snack. We are authentic on this podcast. Yes. I am who I am. She's Popeye the Sailor Man. I also I'm getting ready to go out of town next week, and I did get Sour Patch Kids. Nice. I did get snow caps, and I did get combos. So
yeah. And I have to say, I've been trying a lot of sour candy, as mine and Lauren's friendship has evolved, I've really stepped into the sour side of my life because of
Nice.
her. She's very inspirational. And so you gave me as a gift those like Airhead
Mm-hmm.
bites, and they're good, except like these were rainbow flavored, which
Yeah,
is like all the same flavor. And I think like variety is the spice of life, right? So they were sour. They, in my opinion, they could have been more sour,
I
and they weren't
agree.
on the full spectrum
I
of it,
agree. They
right?
are like a good,
Yeah.
gateway to,
Gateway. But
yeah.
like I have to say, still like Sour Patch, like out of all everything, I think it still reigns supreme. And if they have an extreme sour, they do have an extreme sour, don't they? Or no?
They have,
They have Big
no.
Kids, which we know, which are
Well,
the
you know
best
what? I
ones.
haven't been able to find the big kids lately. I don't
Oh,
know
that's
if
sad, because I mean, once you go Big Kid, at least for me, that's what
same,
I like the
same.
most.
And I feel
Yeah.
like it's been hard to find them. And again, I don't know if like just because pandemic things have
Yeah.
changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
maybe the manufacturing, but Airheads can't compete with the sour.
Airheads can't compete, but you know what can? And maybe I'll put this in your box too next time. Are the sour straws. There's extreme sour straws. I think it might be the
they come
same.
in that little like
Mhm.
okay, okay, okay.
They might be the same company as Sour Patch Kids.
Or are they the ones where that, what is the company that like the brain explodes?
Airhead? No,
No.
Warheads.
Yeah. Do you think they're warheads? Because warheads don't exist anymore.
They
Like
don't?
not in candy stores. Maybe like you could find it at an old timey, like
Yeah. Like
that,
a crate
like
and
an
barrel or something.
online
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something.
Crate
I
and
don't know.
barrel. No, that's what I'm
Like, get
Cracker
a
Barrel.
vase.
At a crate and barrel and get a duvet. No, a Cracker Barrel. Almost the same kind of name, actually. Would that not be funny where you're like, you Google that and you screw them up and they're like, would you like a patty melt? And you're like, no, I wanted a duvet. I'm in the wrong store. That's exactly what I would do. That's how my brain works. Messed up. I love Crate and Barrel the way they wrap stuff though. You get stuff like if you get glasses and stuff, they do put them in a box that looks kind of like a pastry.
Oh, yum. You're like, oh, here's like the pen of chocolate. No, glasses. Let me try to plate a glass. I don't know what's happening right now, but I will, if on some other episode, I would love to try those extreme straws.
Yeah.
I'm on the hunt for if I can't find, what's the next best thing? That's what I'm on the hunt.
Yeah. And I think that there are the next best thing, but the hard part about it is they're longer, messier fingers.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And those are hard to eat when traveling. And we know
well, you're gonna get all the sour stuff on yourself, on your pants.
You have to be sitting down and like watching a show or something while you eat them. Like it's not like something you can just like take a puff. But yeah, I think way up there still is Sour Patch Kids. Like I agree with you.
Oh, I want to say quickly, while we're talking about candy, and I know that we digress as this is the nuts episode, but as you know, there's the Halloween bowl of candy at work, which still, and you know what I realized? Thank you to you, Lauren. I absolutely do like those Kit Kats that are like the Japanese Kit Kat size
ones.
They are way better than the snack size of regular that with the 2. And obviously, who cares about the fucking 4? Get out of here.
But those chubby ones, they're good.
The chubby ones are the best ratio. That's the only type of Kit Kat I like. And I like that it's more wafer, a little bit less chocolate. That is the one for me. Anyways, there's no more of those because, as we know, I took them all.
She took them all.
But I took Starburst now the other day because I was like, I need something in the car during my long commute. So for the first time, I tried the duo flavor Starburst.
Okay.
So it was like blue raspberry and like lemonade. It was fine. Like nothing. I would like to have tried a different duo. I don't like, blue raspberry.
It's not groundbreaking.
No. So I'd rather just have the reds or, I love an orange and a lemon. Let's stick to those. And also we had talked about this on the Halloween episode, those glow in the dark, stupid ones. I put them under lights for days. This is why I didn't even make a video.
Okay.
Does not fucking work. It is not like the tongue tattoo, guys. It was really like disappointing.
Glow in the dark candy bags. Lies. All lies.
it was like the most upsetting thing.
Yeah, especially making that effort.
Long time.
Because you imagine being a kid making that effort. That's just messed up.
And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
It does. You just Betty Crocker got it right with the tongue tattoos.
Yeah, not these fucking, whatever Reese's and sorry. Kit Kat and Reese's are both doing that like weird glow in the dark thing that doesn't fucking work.
Stop it. Stop it right now. Children are depending on this for your for happiness.
It's so upsetting. So don't do it, guys. But
thank you for just a little. Thank you for being a martyr and going out there and taking the time.
We have to be truth sayers on this podcast. Like
I
have to whistle blow if I have to. Like I'm gonna take one for the team.
Do we love the candy? Absolutely. Don't give me a gimmick if it's not gonna work.
Yeah. It's got to be as good as the tongue tattoo. That is the standard which we live by.
It has to happen that quick and have a pattern.
And also just blow our minds. Like I'm shocked.
We should see if there's any over the holidays. I'll totally do them again on the Instagrams because that was all Star Wars stuff at the time.
Yes.
So I wonder what's the new hot.
Yeah, because it was Mandalorian first season or something.
Yeah. See what's new, the hot toddy for the Betty Crocker market. But anyways, but nuts, I mean, great qualities for life. Do I think it's all you need to eat? No. Do I think it's a good option? Yes. For snacking. And we would love to try your suggestions if you have any. Thank you guys for always listening, and subscribe, like us, share our stuff,
give us a review, give us those 5 stars,
yeah.
But 5. If it's less than 5, don't bother.
Save it.
Save it for yourself.
Save it for yourself and the birds. We don't want it. I think that's it, Simona. This was a good app.
It was
another nice app to be eating in the morning. This one went great.
We're getting our protein right from the get-go.
This one went great with coffee and tea. Coffee and tea and you and me.
Remember, nuts.com, we're open to sponsorships and advertising. So please reach out to us at keepsnackingpodcast@gmail.com. And your protein powders and your acai powder and your baobab powder. I bought it all.
She bought it all. So she deserves a refill. I think that's it, guys. Until next time. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Good app. That's so funny. I love sometimes when we don't share too much because you're like, I love wasabi. And I'm like,